you know, I'm allowed to share, it says I'm allowed to share as much as I feel comfortable sharing. So I think the first thing that I want to say about myself is that I'm a big dork. No, I mean, I'm not a big dork. I can be, but I don't know, that's kind of a weird thing to say. Do people who say that they feel like their lives, are extremely full, are they kidding themselves? Is that a thing? Hi everyone, it's me, Jess. Welcome to another video. Thank you so much for being here with me today. I'm doing a quick video and I will explain why in a few minutes. It's a tag video. I haven't done a tag video in a long time. Some people have tagged me, so apologies if you tagged me and I haven't done the video that you tagged me for. I just do them occasionally, I would say. And there's been so much coming down the pipe in terms of prizes and content. And anyway, Shelly Swearigan just tagged me in a book tag that was originally created by another woman named Jessica. What a lovely name. So the original creator's channel name of this tag is Jessica's Library Card. I'm gonna have to check out her channel because I've never watched a video of hers yet. So that's a new booktuber to me. Tag's official title is the Booktube bio tag. So this is a great video for you to watch if you're new to my channel, and you'll be able to get to know me a little bit if you don't feel you know me well enough already. The first question is actually, who are you? So first thing that I want to say about myself is that I have a dog who's crazy. His name is Granola. He sometimes appears on video, but often he's just running around causing mayhem behind the scenes, and I have to frantically edit out everything that he does that is, particularly when he's noisy, if he barks or if he squeaks a squeaky toy. And I'm particularly concerned about this because I worry about other people watching who have dogs, whose dogs might be activated by these sounds. There we go. There's a squeak right now. So this video is going to be actually lightly edited because another thing about me is that I am actually a teacher. I don't like to say where I teach. I try to keep my public life separate from my booktube life. Not for any particular reason, but just I'd like to be free to speak freely on my booktube channel, and just, I don't know, there's times where I worry that I won't be able to do that if too many people know about my booktube channel. I don't know. We're living in strange times, okay? I'm not really trying to be secretive about this. I just think, for me, I like to keep a boundary. So I am a teacher. I would say, Shelly, if you happen to be watching this, you said that I was a literature prof, which I am not. I wish I was a literature prof. I'm really not. I'm actually a business prof. So I actually teach commerce and business administration, and I teach everything from international business to finance to management to marketing and kind of everything in between. I also teach sometimes methodologies courses, which are all about research. So I've been a teacher for many, many years now. I'm from Nova Scotia, and I got my MBA there when I went to university at home in Nova Scotia, and I taught at my alma mater. And you know, so I've had university teaching. I've taught big amphitheaters, 175 students, and I've taught smaller class sizes, which is really what I do now. I also participate in all kinds of extracurricular activities, and the reason why I'm filming this video and keeping it lightly edited is because this weekend I am taking a group of students that I've coached to compete in what we call in business schools a case competition. I don't know how far I need to go into this, but a case competition is basically a simulation where students are put into a kind of isolation and they're given a paper that is a case of a business that's dealing with some kind of issue or has an opportunity that it might want to take advantage of, and they have to do an analysis and weigh the options and make a recommendation and present a plan. And they do that in front of a panel of judges, and it's very, very exciting to do that. It's all voluntary, but I love doing it. I myself was on a case team when I was doing my MBA, and I've traveled around the world with students to some of these case competitions. I've been to Hong Kong, I've been down to the US, I've been across Canada. It's so exciting and fun, and I'm really excited for my students. It's a wonderful experience. I'm really excited for them. I'm really looking forward to it. There's going to be a lot of opportunities for them to meet students from all across Canada, which is really exciting, and it's just really fun to be a part of. So as you can see, I'm very passionate about my work, but again, I kind of just, I mean, I'm sure a sleuth would be able to figure it out. If someone's that interested in me, they could figure it out. But I kind of just prefer to keep teaching life a little bit separate from the Booktube life. It's fine. I'm okay. I'm okay. Like, it stresses me a little bit to have the two worlds meet, but it's okay. So that's me professionally. Before I became a prof or a teacher, whichever way you want to put it, I worked in film and television production, and I'm very, very proud of that part of my background because I was involved with some really fantastic creative teams. I produced films. I was the business affairs person in the production company, so I dealt a lot with financing and I dealt a lot with the legal aspect of film and television production. And here in Canada, a lot of film and television production is government funded, so I also did a lot of grant writing and worked with government agencies that fund cultural projects. And I even have an award from that time. Here I have, this is called a Gemini. It's quite dusty. It's got a lot of dust on it. It's got a lot of dust on it. I won it a long time ago. I won't tell you what year. So I won this as a producer of a television show. And isn't it, it's very heavy. Isn't it pretty? It's kind of like for the American viewers, it's kind of like an Emmy, but it's like the Canadian version of an Emmy. So yeah, I actually won this when I was quite a young person, younger than I am now. Feels like a lifetime ago that I did that kind of work. And I had to stop working in film and television production because I became a mom. And at that time in my life, it wasn't a kind of situation where I was going to be married and with a partner for the rest of my life. My daughter, her dad, and I just were never really together for a long, long period of time. So I've been really a single mom for most of my daughter's life. And that was not always easy. It was very difficult at times, but I had the support of my family, in particular my father, who played a really big role in my daughter's life, and I was very close to. He lived here in Montreal before he passed away in 2022, and he was a big part of our lives. My mom also lives here. She used to live in the US, and now she lives here, and unfortunately she has dementia, and she's in a home, and I'm her primary caregiver, so I'm a caregiver and a mom and a dog mom as well. I also have like fantastic friendships, and I just have a very full life. I have a lot of hobbies. I've talked on this channel before about how I've recently taken up roller skating, and I've been cross-country skiing this winter. I love doing all kinds of different activities. I really like music and photography. I actually just recently went to a show and took the photo for a friend who was writing an article about the show. She was reviewing the show, and she said, I need to take a photo. And I was like, I'll shove my way to the front of the stage and take a photo for you. And she's like, great, I'll give you the credit. So I do have a lot of different hobbies, and I feel like my life is extremely full. Anyway, enough about me. I've had all kinds of other jobs over the years. I've consulted, I've worked with artists, I've put together conferences. I've just had a lot of different projects. I've always been one to have a lot of different projects on the go. It's quite a lot about me. Let's get into more bookish stuff about me. The second question is, how long have you been on Booktube? And honestly, I'm trying to figure that out. There must be something on your channel that tells you how long you've been. Well, it says that I joined in 2006, but I didn't start my channel then. Let's go back and see when my first video was. So 3 years. It looks like I've been on Booktube for about 3 years. I think I started in March of 2021. Like seriously started in March of 2021. And that's funny to look back on those videos because I have like 70 views, 45 views, like not a lot of views at all. I'm actually not even sure if I want to go back and watch any of those videos. I'm sure there are people who discover my channel and they go back and they watch those videos, and it must be interesting to see the progression. And that might be kind of a fun tag to do. But yeah, it's not for today. So yeah, I've been on Booktube for 3 years. The third question is, what kinds of books do you love to read? Has Booktube had an effect on what you love to read? So I think that if I was to describe my reading tastes, I'm primarily like a lit fic reader. I like reading literary fiction. I love reading translated fiction. I read a lot of classics as well. And I also have a part of me, a side of me that really likes reading memoirs, particularly memoirs about musicians and music, but also people who've lived kind of fascinating lives. Any kind of fascinating story will attract me, anything compelling. I like some historical fiction, and I really enjoy a thriller from time to time and a little bit of maybe true crime from time to time. I remember when I was when I was like a teenager, I read a lot of Stephen King. I remember being away at camp and reading The Shining and scaring the crap out of myself. I remember reading about the Manson family around the same time and just terrifying myself. And then eventually getting to one of my favorite books, which is probably going to come again later in this video, but it's Wuthering Heights. And when I read Wuthering Heights when I must have been in high school, I kind of have felt like I found my thing. Wuthering Heights just had a huge impact on me in terms of its raw, atmospheric, very real kind of story, and the characters being so awful and so misunderstood. And I just love Wuthering Heights. So I think that can give you a good idea or a good sense of the kind of reader that I am. I am interested in maybe pushing my boundaries a little bit, but those are my comfort zones. I really like to read a lot of literary fiction, as I've said. I like following the prizes, and I like really good writing. I like literary works that make me think, that make me feel challenged. So that's kind of my bag. And it's another reason I think why I love classics so much. And then, like I said, if I need a reprieve, I'll escape into something lighter. That's usually a thriller. It usually involves murder of some kind. I think it's just the monkey mind that I have that needs to constantly be thinking, constantly be chewing on something. The second part of that question is, has Booktube had an effect on what you read? And I would say absolutely. I don't think I had even heard of half of the prizes that are now regularly discussed on Booktube. I didn't know about the Booktube prize, that's for sure. And I volunteered last year to be a judge, and I put my name forward again this year. I wasn't selected in the first round, but I'm imagining that I might be participating in this, but that I might participate in the second or third round. I now follow the Women's Prize, the Carol Shields Prize, which is a new prize, which I adore because it's a combination of American and Canadian books. I really like supporting Canadian authors and Canadian literature. And I've gotten more interested in literature in part because of Booktube, but also in part because, and Shelly mentioned this in her video, because my daughter, who is now a university student, is in a literature program, and it's a really nice way for us to connect and continue to connect. And honestly, I would credit her with my Booktube channel because she is the first person to ever show me a video. One of the first Booktubers videos that she showed me was Katie over at Books and Things. And I just thought, and there was Katie pouring her tea, and I just thought, this is lovely. This is so quaint and so sweet, and I love it, and I kind of want to do this. Like, I think I could do this. I think it would be really fun. And of course, it was during the pandemic, so it was a time when we had a lot of extra time and we weren't able to get together socially. So it just was something that I ended up kind of falling into. Not kind of falling into, but I definitely associate it with my daughter. So my daughter has also introduced me to a lot of books. I'm also really friendly with a couple of English profs, and so this is another point of connection for me with them. Not all of them are as enthusiastic about books as you would expect, but it's really nice to hear from them, like, what are they interested in right now? What kinds of books are they reading? And yeah, and I've opened up to a couple of them that I have this Booktube channel, so some of them are super supportive and watch and participate with me in discussions about books as a result, which is really great. The fourth and fifth questions are both about making Booktube videos. The first question is, what do you enjoy about making Booktube videos? And the second question is, what do you not enjoy about making Booktube videos? So I'll try to keep it brief. What I enjoy about making Booktube videos is I did work in film and television. I like this talking to the camera. I am a teacher. I am used to being in a position where I'm talking to a group of people and I have their undivided attention. So not to be vain or arrogant about it, but it's the me show. It's the me show, and I kind of like the me show. I enjoy it. I enjoy pontificating. I enjoy talking, and it tickles me that people are interested in what I have to say. And I really do enjoy that part. I'm being 1000% authentic and honest. It is enjoyable to offer one's opinion and have people listen to it. I find it really enjoyable, and it doesn't mean that people have to agree with me. I like having discussions with people. I like when there's disagreement. I like when we're having conversations. So really, I say this in my Booktube bio, and my intention with the channel has always been to have conversations about books. I don't really like the star rating system, for example, because I would prefer to have a conversation about a book than just rate a book, although it can be a starting point for a conversation. So that's what I love the most about Booktube. I really like making vlogs. There's that film kid side of me that enjoys creating a visual. I've gone so far as to make some videos where I even try to act. Like my intro for Misery May last year was kind of, I don't know if Misery May is happening again this year. I'll wait for Scott to let me know. But so I think that's the film part of my personality that really enjoys Booktube. And I really enjoy editing as well. I find, although it can be a little bit tiresome, like after 3 years, there's a part of me that's like, I'd really like to farm this out to someone sometimes, but I have my own style of editing and I really like my style of editing. So yes, those are the things I like most about it. What I do not like about Booktube, I don't like how much time it takes for me to edit. And sometimes the technical side of Booktube brings me down. Things like lighting, things like noise. I'm not a techie kind of person. I can do it, but it's just not my favorite part of Booktube. I love coming up with the ideas for videos. I really like filming them, and I really enjoy the editing for the most part, but I sometimes feel like it's hard for me to put as much energy into the videos as I would like to, because of course this is something that I'm doing in addition to working and all kinds of other things. So I guess sometimes I would like a team. Like it would be nice for me to have some help. You know, like I always joke about how like it'd be great if I had a lighting guy, it'd be great if I had a tech guy. Like it would just be nice to have kind of people with expertise in these areas to make my videos better, but it's okay. I can wear all the different hats. So the next question is, what video on your channel are you the most proud of? This is a challenging question to answer. I think I don't know. I think that my favorite videos to make, and that I'm usually the most proud of, that I enjoy watching myself on other people's channels, are generally vlogs. I get that people don't watch them as much. Like I can see the views on my videos and people are much more excited about watching prize predictions, or they're much more interested in, like I have a video on like how to read more, and tons of people watch that video, and I find sort of one of the least interesting videos I've ever made. I've made a video that I'm really proud of about banned books. I've made videos that I'm proud of about books that I think are just really important literary works, like Invisible Man, for example. Those things I'm really proud of, but they don't always get the views. The essay type videos don't always get as many views. I mean, I'm not here for the views, so it's okay, but I enjoy making vlogs, and I enjoy making, if I have a creative spark, then I really enjoy making a video where I feel inspired. So that's the best I can do, guys. I like TBR videos too, because I'm an Aries, so I'm very, like, I'm very impetuous, and I'm like really good at starting projects. I mean, I'm a completionist in the sense that I always do get my project done, but I'm always really excited at the start of things. So yeah, my birthday's coming up. It's true. I'm not going to tell you the date of my birthday, but just know my birthday's coming up. And I expect books. No, I'm just kidding. Question number 7. Is there anything you wish was different about Booktube? Is there anything I wish was different about Booktube? I hope that this is doesn't come off as controversial. I don't quite understand the audience. I wish, maybe this is more like I wish this for myself. I wish I understood the audience a little bit better, because I look at other booktubers who I think are quite similar to me, where I can't pinpoint what the differences are between me and them, and I see that they have like 10,000 followers, and I just am like, what am I doing? What am I doing wrong? I guess I try to pull back when my mind starts to think that way, because I don't think that it helps me in any way, and I really don't have time to figure out the algorithm or the audience, or what the issue is, or what it is about my videos that get less views. I think that it's just a losing game to play that game, so I really try not to. But as much as I say that, the thought does cross my mind, and I do wonder. It would be really nice if someone could just tell me, like, I don't know. And there are a lot of booktubers that I really admire, that I feel really inspired by, and I don't think that they have the kind of subscriber numbers that I think they should have either. So I think it's a problem on Booktube, in the sense that we have these huge booktubers that are almost like celebrities. They're so popular. And I think some of them, like, I completely get it. Like someone like Books and Lala, for example, I understand why she has the viewership that she has. Her videos are incredible. She's amazing. I don't think I could be as good as her. But I also just kind of I don't know. Sometimes I don't really understand. I don't understand. Maybe I need to be reading more fantasy or romantasy or something. Maybe it's just the type of books that I read. Well, that's what I wish was different about Booktube. I wish that more of the booktubers that I know, that I wish that they had more subscribers. And I wouldn't mind a few more myself. It'd be great. For years, people have been saying how great my channel is and how they don't understand how I don't have more subscribers. And I'm with you guys on that one. I have no idea. Okay, the next prompt is name 3 books that you have reviewed on your channel that you feel represent who you are as a reader. This is really difficult to do, obviously. Like I think I read quite widely, and I've already described myself in terms of what are the books that I like, but I guess I will start with, and this is exactly the same answer as Shelly. So Shelly, I'm not copying you. It's 100% legit. I adore Middlemarch. Look at my tabs. This is the proof, okay? And I made a video breaking down all of the themes that I tabbed in Middlemarch, and I just adored this book. I'd like to reread it actually pretty soon, and I'd love to reread and see all my annotations. I actually wanted to do an annotations video. I thought that would be really fun to do, but I've never gotten around to it. Something that I think could be great. But yeah, sometimes I borrow books from my daughter, and all of her annotations are in the books, and it's so wonderful to read someone else's annotations. Anyway, adore Middlemarch. Love it. It's clearly a soap opera. That's really all you need to know. It's basically a soap opera with these fantastic characters, and it's also a social commentary. It's like a work of genius. I made a whole video about how it's a work of genius. You can find it. I will leave it linked in the description box below. I'm having a real moment with Olga Tokarczuk. I read The Impusium last year. I had already read Drive Your Plow Over the Bones of the Dead. My daughter gave this to me for Christmas one year early in my Booktube days, and it was on my, I think, 2021 Best Books of the Year. And I'm currently hosting a read-along on the Books of Jacob. We are officially halfway through the Books of Jacob, and it's been wonderful. It's one of the things that I love the most about Booktube. I don't know why I didn't answer that in that question, but one of the things that I started doing last year are these read-alongs. So last year I did a read-along group on Voxer for Invisible Man, and I did another for East of Eden, and another for, the other one I did was for The Moonstone, which is another fantastic classic that I really, really enjoyed. It's written in installments. It's kind of a whodunit. Gosh, those were just so fun to host and so fun to run through my channel, and I'm just really jazzed about this year. Like I said, we're doing Books of Jacob right now, and I am planning to have a read-along for Ducks Newburyport in the summer, and I'm also contemplating doing another one for Praiseworthy in the spring. So more on that to come. If anyone's interested, let me know in the comments section below. So is that 3? I've got Olga Tokarczuk, Middlemarch. Yeah, I think the other ones that I wanted to talk about, like obviously Tokarczuk is translated. I just finished reading The Vegetarian, which is another translated work, which I thought was phenomenal. I haven't reviewed it yet on my channel, so it doesn't really count to answer that question. I will be reviewing it though shortly, so stay tuned for that. And then in terms of nonfiction, I wanted to give a shout out to I'll Be Gone in the Dark by Michelle McNamara. I adore this book until she stopped writing it, because she did unfortunately pass while she was writing this book, but her writing is quite beautiful. I really like narrative nonfiction, and this is a fantastic example of that. Say Nothing is another really great example of a book that's narrative nonfiction that I reviewed last year. And also a couple more, it's definitely not 3. I'm a massive Bunny fan by Mona Awad. I love highlighting Canadian authors, and Mona Awad is, of course, Canadian. Her other book, which I don't have handy, 13 Ways of Looking at a Fat Girl, and All's Well. They were all fantastic. I've reviewed them all on my channel. They Never Learn by Lane Fargo. This is such a great thriller. It's very feminist. It has an amazing twist in the middle. I love a good twist in a book. I'm a big Daphne du Maurier fan. There's only so many Daphne du Mauriers I can get my hands on because I'm in Canada, and for whatever reason, they just don't print them here. That should give you a pretty good sense, hopefully, of who I am as a reader. And yeah, just check out any of my review videos or my recap videos or my wrap-up videos, and you'll get a sense of the kinds of books that I like. That's really hard to do. I don't think I can do it just three. I don't think I can say just 3 books that represent me as a reader. I think you get a pretty good sense. I'm not good at commitment. Prompt 9 is name 3 booktubers whose content inspires you. So the first person I'm going to name is Scott over at Gunpowder Fiction and Plot. Scott has been kind of a beacon for me in the Booktube community for a long time. I really think that he is just such a genuine person, and he's hilarious. I love his sense of humor, and his videos are like, I love it when he gets really granular with his analysis and like doing a statistical evaluation of women writers in the Booker Prize. Like he's so smart and intelligent, and his reviews are fantastic. I've learned about so many books that I've loved by watching Scott's channel, and he's really my go-to booktuber. And he's also been, I think, incredibly supportive of my channel to a point that he doesn't need to be. Like, he's very complimentary, and I just really appreciate it coming from him. So I'm super inspired by Scott. Like, I love Shelly. Shelly's wonderful. It was so touching to me when Shelly did this tag and in that video talked about like she was getting emotional because she wanted to meet up with people. And I just wanted to say to Shelly that like anytime you want to come to Montreal, I will give you the full tour, like anytime. And I think it would be amazing to plan a meetup. We just have this slight issue right now of like whatever's going on between our 2 countries that I don't know, makes me a little nervous, but that's nothing to do with Booktube. But yeah, I'm a little nervous to travel to the States right now, but I think it'd be so cool to do a meetup. And I would have suggested New York and maybe I will still suggest New York, maybe in the fall when things settle down. So shout out to Shelly for sure. I think she's just such a sweetheart, and I love how much fashion content she has, and I like that she branches out and she's not afraid to branch out, and I find that really inspiring as well. I'm supposed to name 3, and that just is really hard because it makes you feel as though you're leaving other people out. And I don't like leaving people out. Recently, I've just been really inspired by people like Charlie at Charlie Brooke Reads and Gemma Books. I mean, I met Gemma when I went to the UK, and they've been through so much losing Alice this year. And I just think that they're just such lovely people. And I particularly love that Charlie is doing this readathon to raise awareness about bowel cancer. Just top tier people. I love Gretchen at Made You Book. Gretchen, hi, big fan over here. I think Brian at Bookish is the name of his channel that always makes really interesting topical videos. I just saw in my feed a video pop up where he talks about a book that destroyed America, and I have a feeling I know which book it is. So I'm really excited to go over and watch that video. Just, you know, so many people on Booktube inspire me. You know, it's just such a great community. I also love Mercedes Mills at Mercy's Musings. She just, something about the way she talks about books, her makeup, the vibe of her sitting room. Like, I just love everything about her channel. And I find that we have a lot of similarities in terms of our taste in books. And so I'm often really inspired to read books that she talks about. Now I think I've gone over 3, so I think I should stop there. But there are just so many people on Booktube that I admire and that inspire me. The whole community, really. Definitely hard to only shout out a few people. And then the last prompt is to share the love and tag people. Please, if I've tagged you, please understand that you don't have to do this tag. I don't do tag videos very often. I'm going to leave the names of everyone that I've mentioned already in the description box below, so you'll already be tagged. So the first person I'm going to tag, who I think deserves a bigger audience, is another Canadian / Scottish. She's living in Scotland now, but we also met in person. This is Camilla at Hasty Books. I'm tagging you, Camilla, because I think you might have fun with this one, and I know that you occasionally do tags. And if you haven't checked out her channel, please do. She's wonderful. I also am going to tag Carrie at Bookish Adventures in Wellbeing. I think her channel is miserably undersubscribed. I love her taste in books. And I just enjoy watching her videos. She always has fantastic recommendations. And I think she's fairly new to the Booktube community. I'm not sure how long she's been on Booktube, but just really want to see her channel grow. I would say the same thing for Katya over at Page Turners with Katya. I noticed she just did a reaction to the International Booker Longlist. She had also done a predictions video, which I didn't have a chance to watch. So Katya, hi, I'm tagging you. Please check out her channel. I need to go over and watch her video about the International Booker. And she also just made a video called 6 Great Literary and Crime Fiction Novels for You, which sounds like it's right up my alley. No pressure to do the tag, those of you that I've mentioned, but if you're watching, it's a chance for me to boost other people. So please do go check out the channels if they're people that you don't know. And I am very promptly going to go and check out Jessica's channel, the creator of this tag. And yeah, thanks for creating the tag. Thanks to Shelly for tagging me, and here's to meeting up in person sometime I hope soon. Thanks everybody so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye for now. But I really try to pull out, like as soon as pull out, oh my god, that's vaguely suggestive. I apologize.